So what's going on, guys? Let me know if you can hear me. All right, just giving a minute for people to join on in, and we might have a special guest joining us. Make some noise in the chat if you can hear me. What's going on, Michael? Michael, love that T-shirt. Is that the Looney Tunes? Forget what character. That's the Martian. Got a couple things we want to talk about today. Just waiting a couple minutes for people to join on in. Let me know how 2024 has been going for you guys. It's not been a great start to the year. Stock market had like 5 straight red days to start the year. I mean, to be honest, I think there was a little bit too much optimism in the end of 2023. Everyone was like, the Federal Reserve for sure is going to cut interest rates. Stock market's going to have a lot of prosperity. And I think, the stock market, it's very unpredictable. Just when you think you got the hang of it, it'll show you who's boss real quick. So rough start to 2024. I don't know how much longer these red days will last, but, there's always opportunities to make money. So. All right, Michael, speaking of dividends, made out like a king on Coney. Oh, okay. Has Coney stock been going down? I know Coinbase has gone down. I figure Coney has also been headed down. Honestly, if you rode that wave when Coney was just going up and paying out fat dividends and you got out at the right moment, man, you got some great gains. I mean, in 2023, Coinbase stock went up over 400%. I mean, that is insane. That's how much a great stock would go up in a 10-year span. And Coinbase did that in 1 year. That is just truly amazing. So props to you, Michael, if you were able to get in and get out of Coney. It's not to say that Coinbase won't continue to go up. One of these slides is actually going to be talking about crypto. So keep an eye out for that. So I know this is kind of a late night stream, but, I figured might as well hop on and, just chat with whoever's a night owl like myself. And, for those that are watching, playing back, valuable content, hopefully. That's right. Marvin, the Martian. Been a long time since I watched Looney Tunes. What else has been pretty crazy? In 2024, Mickey Mouse entered public domain. It's been 95 years since Steamboat Willie came out. So Disney actually lost the rights to the short film that came out in, 1929. Disney actually fought really hard for decades because the original copyright law, it was for like it was originally for like 75 years. And then Disney's lawyers, they fought to get Congress to pass that to 95 years. So this has been a long time in the making. So now you're going to start to see all these like Mickey Mouse kind of spin-offs because Disney doesn't own the rights to that original version of Mickey Mouse anymore, which is pretty crazy because Disney is a pretty powerful company. It will sue you for anything. Norman, what's going on, man? Longtime viewer of the channel. Appreciate you stopping by. If you guys have stocks you want me to talk about, let me know. We might have a guest joining us here. Let's see what he's up to. And then let's have Michael. Coney always goes down after they pay the dividend, but generally goes back up throughout the month. Yeah, I mean, Coinbase is a little bit different because they don't actually pay a dividend. But generally with like dividend paying stocks, there's usually, a lot of hype right before the ex-dividend date. People are trying to get in. And then, the ex-dividend date happens. It falls by the amount of the liability that they just created. And then the stock kind of evens out a little bit after that. Alrighty. What other comments do we have in here? Let's see if our special guest is ready as well. Ryan, you ready?
Been ready.
What's going on, man?
So, buddy, I'm ready for a fun night of talking all about Epstein. A very non-controversial episode today, I'm sure. I'm ready. I'm a little under the weather, so I'm 12 hours ready for this.
Ryan, how do the viewers know that you're not secretly me in disguise? Like, is that my face on you right now?
No, that's fake news. Unfortunately, I haven't graduated high school yet, so that's all the proof you need.
Okay. How about those Buffalo Bills?
Oh, I was so happy. I didn't think we'd win the other night, to be honest, but until that was Rezzy on the flight logs. It's funny. No, I didn't think we'd win, so I have like a natural feeling whenever I just get disappointed, and I didn't think we'd win even regardless, but I'm surprised. We typically don't win close games, so I could talk an hour about that too if you want full analysis.
I don't know. I know a lot of football viewers in here for sure be watching that this coming Saturday.
Yeah.
Looks like we already got some fans for you, Ryan. We got Portuguese Chicken Baller.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. What
he just commented on one of my. He just commented about the Discord. Oh hell yeah, we got the. you call in Ryan when you need the viewership. You know, when the views are low, you call in the main man. I'm joking.
Of course, Ryan. Nobody grinds as hard as you.
Yeah, me and my one.
I don't know about this guy.
I can't get on that yet. It's too early for that.
We have a confirmed millionaire in the chat. Ethos Investing.
Nobody likes a bragger.
All right, let's get into this, Ryan.
Hell yeah. Epstein didn't kill himself. No, I'm joking.
We got a couple slides here to go through. I don't know if you saw this. The SEC, apparently their account got hacked. And, there's been a lot of speculation that the SEC is finally going to approve like a Bitcoin ETF. Right now, like if you run kind of like a hedge fund, you're actually not allowed to own Bitcoin as part of the portfolio because it's not, registered, regulated security as of today. So there's been a lot of speculation, right? Obviously, the price of Bitcoin is already very volatile to begin with.
Not a real investment.
Yeah. Did you say it's not an investment?
It's not a real man's investment.
It's not a real man's investment.
Yeah. Oh man, speaking of real man's investing, we got Matt in the chat. That's legendary.
Is that the dividend profit?
It's the only dividend profit.
Oh man.
Yeah, Bitcoin is not a real man's investment. It's not a real investment in the first place. So
I mean,
it's a bunch of dorks that hold it. I hope you don't. I'm sorry. If you hold it, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that.
Also, shout out to Owl also in the chat.
Oh, yeah. Soul Search. It's all good. KLL.
The Soul Search.
The first woman to buy a real man's investing shirt, too.
All right. So what I'm concerned about is how do people hack the SEC's Twitter account so easily? Like,
I don't know if you had that much faith in the government in the first place. I wouldn't be too. My standards aren't high enough. I'm not really surprised.
I don't know, man. This is what has me worried about, in the future, like with deepfake technology. Like, let's say you put a deepfake of Joe Biden, right? And he's like talking trash about Russia. He's talking about nukes. Like, what's to say that this won't cause?
If they did it. It would be too competent, though, if they did it with AI for Biden. Like, if they found a way to, like, throw in a stutter or two, it would be way more realistic.
Right, like the AI is too smart for Biden. Hey, 2024 will be a very polarizing year, a big election year, a lot on the line here. I think it's going to be close.
I don't want Trump or Biden, if I'm being honest.
I think that's the majority, but
yeah.
I heard there's some talk that 2024 might be the year that a third party might actually make a comeback in the United States.
Well, it is an RFK, that's for sure, after the recent list.
All right, so one person that doesn't seem to like Bitcoin too much, Roberto's
about that life. He knows what's right, what's wrong.
I would say for now, I think Roberto is correct, right? Like most people, they're not buying Bitcoin to use as it was intended, right, as an actual means of exchange, most people are just buying into it in hopes that it goes up. I mean, that's why we see things like today, right? The price of Bitcoin spikes up because it got approved to be in an ETF, and then it shuts right back down because it turned out that was a fake tweet. And when in reality, that shouldn't really matter if you truly believed in the asset.
Oh, that's gambling for you. That's exactly what Bitcoin is.
What's going on, Shamir? Glad to see you on the channel. I always see you on Russ's live stream. So glad.
Shamir comeback this other latter half of the year has been impressive. He was an OG.
Owl says hack or calculated move to flush Bitcoin. I mean, honestly, these days, like, feel like Ryan, the thing is that I've heard this rumor about there being a Bitcoin ETF for years. Like, it either happens or it doesn't happen. Like, it can't always just be like a matter of weeks before it's announced.
Yeah.
Ethos doubt it was hacked. The SEC social media intern accidentally posted it. Yeah, they're giving the keys to the to Twitter to the social media intern.
Yeah. Speaking of Twitter, Elon Musk he's taking some hard stuff right there.
And this guy named Ryan Dangler, what's player, everyone?
Yeah, get him out of here.
Get him out of here.
Ban him from the chat.
All right, dividend profit. Bitcoin can never be Starbucks in terms of real man's investment. Hey, I've been buying a lot of Starbucks lately.
I just sold my Johnson & Johnson today. All of it.
Let's move to the next one here. So I don't know if you heard about this. The Boeing 737 MAX.
I saw that.
plane. Okay, this is insane. Like, I've actually
was it in Asia though? Was it like over like in Asia or like Korea or like somewhere where you could see that happening?
Oh no, this happened in the United States. It was a flight from I want to say it was like Washington, the state, to like Oregon. So it wasn't a very long flight. But what's crazy is I was watching some videos that people took. It's wild. Like, the plane is thousands of feet in the air.
Yeah.
And everybody is actually surprisingly calm. You would think like people are going to be like screaming.
Weren't they holding kids too to not like fall out, to not get, like have gravity do its thing and pull them out of the plane?
Honestly,
I was hearing they were holding kids.
That little flimsy like seatbelt that most people never like fasten.
Yeah.
I'm sure people were fastening the hell out of that.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that. Or go ahead.
I have a few plane stories about. Have you ever heard the plane story?
No. What are you talking about?
All right, this is rated PG, so don't worry, everybody. But we were recently in the Bahamas a month or two ago, and on the flight back, there was this obese guy that was sitting next to us, right? And look, everybody, I'm sorry if you're obese, but if you're invading other people's plate, I'm sorry, everybody, but just buy 2 seats if you're man spreading and taking up too much room. He essentially had to use the bathroom 4 times during the flight. And you know how, like, when you land and they're going to the gateway, you're not supposed to get up out of your seat.
Mm-hmm.
This dude forced me to get up, and he had to use the bathroom for an emergency, apparently, but he was just fine getting his bags at TSA. So fun stories.
I will say I went on Southwest Airlines like last year, and that's the one where you like can't pick your own flight. Or,
I know it.
Seat.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got like stuck between like 2 very, very obese people, and I'm a relatively skinny guy, so like I had absolutely no elbow room. I was basically a sandwich.
That's nice.
All right, let's see here. We got Dan. If it was hacked, some SEC idiot fell for a phishing attempt. Yeah, I mean, but that's the scary part, right? Like, we expect the government to do better. So transaction fees are indeed too high for Bitcoin, but what's also super long is the processing time for Bitcoin, right? Like MasterCard, Visa, you can do millions of transactions within a minute. Bitcoin, from what I've heard, you can do like 5 transactions a minute. So it's very slow.
That's why we love Visa and MasterCard over here.
Roberto, how do you know there's only so many shares of Bitcoin? No one knows they can create more. So apparently in the white papers that Satoshi put out, there can only be 21 million ever. Some of those don't even exist as of today. They will exist later on. But I don't know. I mean, potentially. I mean,
Is that like a rule book made by like the founder?
yeah, but the thing is, nobody knows who Satoshi is. It could be a person. It could
Oh
be a
yeah.
group. Person could honestly be not even be living.
Watch, it's like that fat guy that bought a bunch of Dogecoin and lost it all. You know what I mean? The dude
Yeah,
with the giant, bags under his eyes who looks like
that,
he's been living in a cave for the last 15 years.
he was probably looking at the price of Doge every day,
Yeah,
wondering why he didn't sell.
it's too bad.
Michael, can you imagine sitting near that opening at that speed and altitude? Yeah, that's why. Like, honestly, these people were very calm. I don't know if I would have been that calm.
Yeah, no.
All right, Owl, holy chamoli, looking at that picture is about to give me a panic attack. Yeah. This is like one of the times where it's actually okay to bust out your phone and start taking like a Snapchat or Instagram, because
Yeah,
like this is truly unbelievable.
you
That
don't want to
door,
live in the moment, as the kids say.
I mean, that might be your last moment. The way that flight was going. That door didn't blow off. It was a plug for an optional door, not tightened down. They found numerous other planes with the same issue. I mean, that's just crazy. So what I heard, the
And
theory
Boeing
is,
crashed, right? Boeing stock actually went down, right? I saw
oh
it was
yeah,
down like
yeah, it went down
4%.
like 10% today. And this is why I actually like when I started investing like 6 years ago, Boeing was actually like the best dividend paying stock out
I
there.
remember that. I remember like 4 or 5 years ago, I was so interested in Boeing during COVID because it just had a giant crash, and I figured everybody always needs planes, but not the case.
Yeah, that's the thing though, is that like nothing is ever too safe. Like the same way that we look at, I don't know, a company like Microsoft, right? That's the same way that we looked at Boeing 6 years ago. And then it only takes, like it was the same model, the Boeing 737 Max. They had some like software where it was causing the planes to basically crash, and then there's nothing the pilots could do. They lost like 2 planes. Fortunately, everybody on board died. And then the stock recovered a little after COVID. And then now they're having more issues. So what I've heard is that Boeing stopped doing like quality checks to like their full extent, trying to cut corners.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, you got doors going away mid-flight. That's what could go wrong here. All right, and Ryan, you must have heard of this. Cat Williams totally broke the internet.
I see Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp.
I'm sure I've heard of this. You got to remind me though.
All right, this video, like basically Shannon Sharp, he used to be like
I know.
host of Fox Sports 1. Now he has like his own show. On this show that he had Cat Williams, who's like a famous comedian.
Mm-hmm.
And Cat like laid out all the dirt on like Hollywood. He like called out people that like, stole his jokes. Basically some industry plants, kind of like Hollywood has their own agendas, kind of like Illuminati almost. Like you kind of sometimes have to do some favors to get some roles.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people really liked about this interview, was that like Cat was super authentic. Like that's what's kind of missing a lot, I feel like, in movies, TV.
You can always respect it. You can just tell when somebody's fake, I feel these days. Like meet Kevin. If you just the first 10 seconds, you just look at him and you're like, yeah, this guy's full of shit.
I'm sure
there's like 95% of politicians too.
I'm sure there's a lot of YouTubers you wanted to drop their names right there, but
it's too early in the show for me to do that.
Too early. All right. And then how about, bless you. That's a perfect transition into our next topic, actually, about
I like that.
So one sector that's actually not done too badly in the past month is healthcare, which had a really awful 2023. So just wanted to highlight that, been making some videos Q4 of 2023 talking about, hey, healthcare might be the play in 2024. And so far we're off to a great start.
All right. I'd like to talk about something regarding Pfizer. I'm sure you saw that Pfizer paid Travis Kelce $20 million, right? For that ad.
Oh, for the vaccine?
Yeah.
I mean, the crazy part is they probably made that return on investment.
I find it, one, ridiculous that they can do that, and two, of how bad their stock is regardless after that. It's such an over. Oh,
You,
I can't.
the United States is like one of the very few countries that actually allows people to,
Yeah,
or allows companies to
I
add
saw that.
pharmaceutical companies to advertise.
Yep.
I mean, that's crazy.
Patrick Bet David. I learned that from him.
Got him on speed dial there.
Yeah.
All right. Dan, Boeing only has one other true commercial competitor, Airbus. That and the USG is heavily reliant on Boeing for aerospace. Yeah, I think I remember when Boeing fell for the first time, right? It fell like under $100 a share. That was kind of the thesis that a lot of people were saying, was that like Boeing really has it's pretty hard to just create an airplane manufacturing company. So Airbus, Boeing, they're one of the very few in the sector. So that's why it's kind of like a duopoly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, either Boeing or Airbus has to succeed. All righty. All right, Ryan. The reason I made this video though is I just have some first world problems, man. I need to let it all out. These problems that are so trivial, they're so inconsequential. They're keeping me
They're
up.
tear jerkers. Let's spade's a spade.
Apparently, they're issues or complaints that are typically associated with affluent and developed societies. I'm a society now.
Yeah.
Ryan, let's dive into these.
Let's see. I'm ready.
All right. First one, my job dilemma, right? So I got a great job, right? I actually
paid money for sitting on the toilet and collecting divvies all day. That's what you do.
I got a great job, Ryan. I just actually got promoted, and I was super mad.
Congrats.
I had this like very monotone voice with my boss, like when she told me that I got promoted. Basically, first of all, like we never had these conversations that I'd be getting promoted like throughout the year. So I was kind of surprised. But secondly, when they gave me like what my bonus or my increase in merit would be, I was very shocked at how low it was. Like, you almost felt like it was a slap in the face.
It's disrespectful to you, your character, your achievements.
Yeah, and
the fact that they didn't tell you earlier, that's pretty disrespectful, and it's pretty offensive actually in the sense of delayed dopamine.
Right, exactly. Like I had like the opposite of dopamine. I don't know what that would be, but like when somebody tells you got promoted, like I was like, really? Like, why? Like, no. It was like a dividend got cut, basically.
I know.
But anyway, so the reason why I was disappointed was because like on LinkedIn, I'm constantly like on a daily basis, like sometimes as early as like 4 a.m. I got recruiters reaching out to me.
It's a little early.
Offering me these jobs. These first world problems, Ryan. They're just offering me money. And I feel bad because like, have you ever wondered what it's like to be a hot girl on social media? It's
sometimes
it's to be a young professional on LinkedIn. You will you will have people throwing themselves at you with offers, with money, with wanting to meet up with you, wanting to give you their number. And
for business purposes.
For business purposes, of course. And I just leave them unread because there's just too many messages.
That's what a BMF does.
But basically what this did was that this raised the ceiling of what I was expecting, right? It's kind of setting these like unrealistic standards.
Yeah.
And also a couple other people got promoted, but then there was also some people that didn't get promoted. So now I feel like a jerk if I left, right? Like these people, they gave me a promotion and I'm like, all right, screw you guys. I feel super bad for the person that didn't get promoted that this budget could have went to.
Yeah.
And also like when you work somewhere, you're kind of familiar with the day to day, right? Like, you know what to expect. It's another day in the office, but at the end of the day though, Ryan, I know you're still like, kind of in school, but at the end of the day, employers, they don't really care about you, right? Like you're just a walking paycheck to them. Like you're just
another number.
Everybody's easily replaceable.
Yeah. Well, I have a buddy and he didn't go to college and he's not the wittiest fella when it comes to his life choices. and he went to work for a pharma company. And let's just say he's regretting that decision 3 years later and looking for a different job. And it's just, yeah. So invest in your future, kids. You're very
Exactly.
replaceable.
Yeah, guys, let me know in the comments. Like, do you guys ever have these like when you're switching jobs? You know, what do you kind of think about? Like, do you ever feel loyal to an employer? You think it's worth switching jobs? Um, Kind of in that example you gave, like if you stick somewhere too long, you're also not expanding your skills. Like,
Absolutely.
yeah, like
But
market.
there is something in longevity, consistency, and you don't want to be a journeyman, so to speak.
I would say like this younger generation, like it's kind of normal to job hop every 2 to 3 years. What's crazy is that like, our parents, they probably, graduated high school, college, and then worked at the same company like for 40 years, collected a pension. They didn't have that dividend stream that we
Yeah.
have. So
Access to Joseph Carlson videos for growing knowledge.
they weren't watching Joseph Carlson while at work. I mean,
Yeah, and Jeremy.
yeah, they weren't losing half their investments with Jeremy.
Too bad.
Yeah, so Michael was talking about in Japan, there was a collision recently with the Coast Guard and an Airbus. Yeah, I mean, we only hear so much news that I don't think that made too much U.S. headlines. Dan, Pfizer is pummeled by public perception. Yeah, I mean, this Pfizer stock is like what, like a 6% yield today. So
6% yield, minus 14% return. Year to date or last year. Let me look. Minus 38%. That was generous.
Ooh, okay.
At least you got that 6% yield, though.
All right, Owl. And all of these work problems came after Cody had to stand in line for 20 minutes at Starbucks for his quadruple shot double oat lot. And that's the thing,
True
Ryan.
story.
Dude. Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is when I travel for work, you get like all your meals comped for. So like, hey, if you want to go to Starbucks in the morning, get whatever you want, like that happens. I will say there's been times this past summer where you like show up to Starbucks at like 6 a.m. and they're already at, like totally out of stock, which is insane.
Well, what do you get if you get you get a latte?
No, dude, I'm a big sweet tooth. I always get the frappes.
A real man's drink is just the straight up coffee with like vanilla in it. It's a real man's drink from Starbucks.
Too much sugar. I've heard this new generation, they drink like caffeine for like every drink, like Monster, what's the Celsius.
I only drink coffee for caffeine.
Coffee, okay.
A little too much sometimes, but yeah.
Like the one you make at home, or
we got Tim Hortons near us.
Oh,
we got Tim Hortons and Starbucks, so I'll go through a good rotation.
Yeah, I will say I don't think we have too many Tim Hortons here in the Midwest, but
they're only Northeast in Canada.
Okay.
That's an underrated place to go to if you ever come up north.
All right, Ryan. My next first world problem is I'm currently remodeling, or in the process of starting to remodel my bathrooms. As you can see through this picture, my plan is to have a bull in the bathroom.
Oh, that's nice.
And I don't know if these quotes that I'm getting are reasonable.
Nice open window right in front of the bathtub. That's nice too.
Of course, got to let the city see me doing my business. But anyway, I got 2 quotes, right? And there's been like a huge disparity in the quotes. Like I have 2 bathrooms. One's like on the smaller end, but it's still full. And then one is actually in my like bedroom. It's a walk-in. And I had 2 people come in, right? They came in, take photos. Then weeks later, they email you back. But basically, one of the quotes was for like $35,000. And then another quote was for $15,000. So like, do I get a third quote to see which of these like is actually reasonable, or like?
I think you don't do the bathroom remodel in the first place. I think you should get a toilet and you could just, plumbing doesn't matter either. You could just naturally dispose of it if you want. Save money. You can be Graham Stephan frugal like that.
That's what humans have done for like hundreds of thousands of years. Like only like in the last like 100 years have we thought we were fancy enough where we needed toilets. Like I live like on the top floor. Should I just like do my business out there?
Yeah, you might as well. Or if you're by the woods. Oh, Ethos Investing has a good comment about Tim Horton for Canada.
Tim.
So something that I am a little concerned about is I've been researching Canadian bank stocks, and I'm a little worried to invest because I'm like not confident at all in the Canadian government, and that's not a bullish thing for me. And their performance is not very good, so that's something I have been a little concerned about in some of my Canadian research investments.
Wait, is Tim Horton? Is that like an actual person?
Yeah, he was a hockey player and then he died. But he
Ah,
framed.
okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. All right, we got Michael. Speaking of jobs, I was laid off from a nice 6-figure job in September at 51 years old and decided I don't want to go into another IT job. I decided to retire early and live off dividends. Wow, Michael, it would be amazing to kind of hear more of your story. Like, when did you get started, and when did you really see that snowball, like, really take off? Because 51 years, I assume you like probably have a couple decades of investing experience.
Please tell me you didn't put your money in Yield Max.
Yeah, that was actually the true secret, is he put all of his money into.
Yes.
He says he left the U.S. to visit the Philippines and here on an 8-month vacation to spend. Oh, all right.
That ain't no vacation. That ain't no vacation.
This is the true secret to his wealth building right here. Is he had that Filipina girlfriend, which probably means he, had, I would assume, like, less kids and all that to worry about.
There's a lot of people in the investing community that go to the Philippines, I've noticed.
Have you noticed it's mostly guys or
guys? I've seen a few. There's not a lot of ladies in the investing community. I think KLL and maybe Corey from your Discord are like the only two that I've ever seen. But no, yeah, mainly guys, I'd say.
Okay. Dan has 6 bedrooms, 6 baths. Basically, it's a basement roulette. Yeah, like, I've always wondered that with people that have multiple bathrooms. Like, how do you determine, like, I'm going to use this bathroom today, I'm going to use that one, I'm going to take a shower here?
He's got that Kevin McAllister house.
The one that the thieves can't break into. They can't stop a 10-year-old
14
kid.
different bedrooms, yeah.
Righty. All right, one more thing here. So, Ryan, I think you recently got featured on Echoes from Above's channel.
Yeah, my 8-second segment.
Oh man, I got featured on there today, but it wasn't.
For what?
So basically, he put out a video on Sunday. He was trying to make kind of fun of, like, the I don't know if you know this channel called Earn Your Leisure. They have a guy named Ian Dunlap who, like, sells, like, this super expensive stock market investing course.
To be honest, no.
Yeah, I would say Earn Your Leisure.
I saw Space probably, but no, I've never watched them.
I would say Earn Your Leisure is, like, very popular with, like, the, like, kind of like the Black community. So that's kind of.
Oh, okay, I know. I watched, I think, a part of it. Then I know. Okay,
yeah. So anyway, so he was trying to make fun of Ian because Ian. I'll agree with Echoes that Ian puts out a lot of nonsense, but
who's Ian?
Ian is one of the people on Earn Your Leisure.
Earn Your Leisure.
Yeah,
I got. Continue.
Yeah. Anyway, so he put out this video where he was kind of like, hey, Ian from Earn Your Leisure said that if you don't have $100,000 or $200,000, like, if you have that much, that's not enough to live comfortably. You need like 500 to 600 minimum. Yeah. And I actually agree with what Ian was saying. If you have $100,000 or $200,000, that's, I'm not going to say that's nothing, but, like, nowadays that's not enough to live comfortably. Like,
yeah.
So anyway, Echoes kind of went on this tangent that, like, oh no, you guys are wrong. You need this much money, like 100,000, 200,000. Like, because I guess the argument he was making was that vast majority of people, they have kids without basically money, or they buy houses, they buy cars, even if they don't have much money. But I would say that's a bigger argument to, like, the problem with America in general versus.
Yeah. So you got featured on Echoes' channel?
I did. It was a nice little cameo today. But I think the thing too is that this is like a subjective thing, right? Like, let me know in the comments, guys. Do you honestly think having $200,000 in the bank while working full time, do you really think that's still enough to live comfortably, have kids, have a significant other, go on vacation? Personally, I live on my own and I have around that milestone, right? But I don't even think that's enough to live comfortably.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got that.
I got approved for a credit card today.
Ooh, building that credit.
Yeah.
Hot commodity. Have you heard of the buy now, pay later, like Affirm and all that?
It's BS. We don't do that.
So apparently, so many people are doing the buy now, pay later, but that actually doesn't show up on like if you do like a credit check, that doesn't show up as like debt.
That's stupid.
So I was reading this article today that like Americans might actually be in a lot more debt than the statistics are showing because a lot of them are using this like buy now, pay later feature. So yeah, we got even more problems. It wasn't like Americans were doing very well with finances to begin with.
All of a Starbucks drink split over 12 months.
Yeah, so Dan, the bigger the place, the more maintenance. Yeah, I mean, if you weren't kidding about the 6-bedroom, 6-bath, like I'm assuming you don't have like 12 people living in your household. At some point, that has to be more of a nuisance, like just the upkeep, taking care of it, than the actual practicality of having 6 bathrooms. Owl, not to mention the higher property taxes. Yeah, I mean, my property taxes go up like 20% every year. It's insane.
Yeah, in Chicago.
Yeah, the Illinois, which is crazy because that's also where Echoes is from. So he should know.
Who runs that block? It's you.
Right. Dan, very true.
Echoes, don't come after me.
And we got a millionaire here saying, very true. And that's another thing too, Ryan, is that I think every time that you kind of cross a new financial milestone, you start to think, hey, like...
I thought you were going to say influencer for a second.
Oh, no, nothing like that. I think every time you cross a new financial milestone, you start to realize like, hey, that actually wasn't too bad. But I want to reach this goal now, right? Like,
hell yeah,
just keeps get higher and higher. So I mean, I don't know what Echo's financial position is, but let's say he doesn't have $100,000 or $200,000. Maybe for him right now that is a lot of money, and at the end of the day, it is a lot of money, but like it's also not.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So like one day, hopefully, we both crack $1 million, but then we're gonna be like, hey, that actually wasn't too bad. What about $2 million?
It's a video game.
All righty.
Oh boy.
Michael, on that yield max question, I understand NAV erosion, especially with T-Slide, but I too currently have a large stake in Coney. What concerns do you have? Yeah, so Ryan, I think right before you came on, he was talking about Coinbase, and Coinbase had a spectacular 2023.
In what department? That's certainly not the free cash flow department.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the first issue, Michael, is that Coinbase, the company, as of today, still does not make money at the end of the day, right? If you look at its PE ratio, it does not exist because the company is not yet profitable. So that's obviously a huge concern. Another thing is the reason why Coney is able to extract so much options and premiums is because Coinbase is very volatile, right? Yeah. Like going up 10% in 1 or 2 days, going down that much, that's pretty abnormal, right? But the thing with Coney is that you're going to get all the downside risk, but you're only getting some of the upside potential, right? So big price swings, those are really going to erode Coney. So, you were saying earlier that you kind of timed Coney well.
That's gambling. That's not investing if you're trying to time stocks.
Right, exactly. I think I understand the allure, right? You get potentially 100% yield. I totally get it.
What could go wrong?
But especially like Michael, if you truly are retired, you need this money for your day-to-day expenses, pay for your bills. Do you really want to risk it in an investment like this? Like it depends on how much you're going into it. Like, is 50% of your portfolio into it, or is it just like 1 or 2% where if it has a rough couple weeks, it's not going to kill you?
Yeah.
All right, Dan. No, kids are insanely expensive. Yes, daycare. That's like 40,000 a year per kid. That's insane, insane. And then Ryan, hopefully you're not going into student debt next year.
Hell no.
Got that community college.
Yeah. Community for 2 years, then we transfer over.
Or if Bernie Sanders somehow wins, maybe you'll get the taxpayer-funded free college.
Yeah, I'll hold off.
don't dream on it.
That would hurt me more than it would probably help me too. That's the funny part.
Chirac.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not too far from me then, Michael, in Ottawa.
I'm going to I think I'm going to Illinois this summer.
Hey, yeah, definitely come in the summer. That's when it's actually hot here.
Yeah, I won't come the first hot weekend though, in like April.
Do it.
I wouldn't do it in the first hot weekend of April. What goes down in Chicago?
All right, and then last bullet point here. Working on a FEPI versus JEPQ versus Tesla video. So FEPI has been kind of that popular new income ETF.
That sounds something. FEPI kind of sounds a little weird. I don't know. I think they're one letter off from that being a little odd. They're a little close. Well,
that's the thing. I don't think that's not a coincidence, right? Like JEPI was the most inflows for an actively managed ETF like in the history in 2022, right? So I think a lot of these fund managers, they want to kind of replicate the success that JEPI had, and they're like, hey, let's come up with a similarly sounding name. Maybe people will think FEPI is related to JEPI, or there's a Defiance one that's literally called JEPI, but it's just spelled differently. But anyway, I do think, I don't know, Ryan, have you checked into FEPI at all?
Yeah, no.
I will say I don't think it's as bad as some of these other ones that have recently came out.
It's not as bad as the Yield Max. If it's like the same thing as JEPI.
It's a Rex Shares, which is kind of a new fund provider, but basically they own like 15 big tech companies, and then they're doing like covered calls on them. It's actually a very basic strategy compared to some of these. There's no like synthetically owning them. They've only been out for a couple months so far, but they're on pace for about a 25% dividend yield, which isn't too bad. Expense ratio is like 65 basis points. I'll say I think FEPI is, and the NAV erosion isn't there. Like FEPI has actually went up since its inception. I'll say I think it is a little bit better than some of these other ones. So
I'll stick with Starbucks.
Fair enough. We got Michael. I will try to lessen my Coney exposure into some other things. Hey, makes sense. Hey, I think as long as people are diversified, that's what makes sense.
Have I ever talked to you about the Starbucks unions?
I mean, I know they're having some issues with that and social media posts too.
So for anybody keeping touch, Starbucks unions basically started in Buffalo, right? And one of the original stores is the one like right by my gym. So we'll always like we would be driving by and we'd always see him out there sometimes. So I thought one time it'd be a fun idea to make a video out there sometime. Have a good interview, shareholder to a worker.
I heard that Costco is actually trying to unionize as well.
That won't work. They pay their employees too well. But I say the same for Starbucks too.
I forget if I shared this on the Discord, but apparently on LinkedIn, like the CEO posted a response to that, and it was the most like Costco response ever. It was basically like the fact that, employees want to unionize, that means that we haven't been treating our employees right. From now on, we're going to pay them even more money. We're going to take care of them. We're going to get back to our basic roots. I was like, man, this is the most Costco.
Yeah, the thing is Starbucks, I felt like they already treated their employees really well for being a part-time job. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
Like you're not working at you're not as a kid or a teenager saying, "Hey, I'm going to grow up, you know what I'm going to be? It's not an astronaut. It's not a mechanic. I'm going to be a barista at Starbucks, baby." And, it's a good job if you're doing like barista fire or like you're in college, but if you're a grown adult expecting to get $95,000 a year for a simple 9-to-5 job working at Starbucks, it's probably not the place to go.
Ryan, don't you know that everybody deserves a livable wage? They deserve starting out. They deserve $25.
Yeah.
Oh man. All
Maybe
right.
I'll get a job there and I'll record myself crying in a car after my shift and I'll get some clicks on my channel.
Start a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Owl, do you think Coinbase will probably lose its shine after the Bitcoin halving, which happens only once every 4 years? Yeah, I think, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency in general, it kind of rides these waves, right? Like it was super, super popular in 2017. Then it was super popular again in 2020, 2021. And now it's starting to become super popular again. So I think it's like it starts to form these bubbles. The bubbles pop, goes back down, goes back up. So, all over the place with crypto. That's why I've held the few crypto investments I've had since like 2020. I've never added to it, never sold it, and I take it as a speculative investment.
Closest thing I have to crypto, and risk-wise, was Tattooed Chef back in the day.
Tattooed. Does that company still exist?
Nope. Bankrupt.
It's another one of the Jeremy companies that went like bankrupt. I mean, I will say this. It does take a different level of skill to pick that many companies.
It does.
That go bankrupt. I mean, I'm talking like not even just fall a little bit. These companies literally went to zero.
Yeah. Do you think MPW will?
Oh man, MPW. The thing is that I'm worried that like there really is some collusion with like their board of directors, because like one thing that I think is a telltale sign that something isn't right is that there was never any insider buying.
Yeah.
Right. Like if I'm the CEO and I know my company's great, I'm gonna buy shares when it's on a discount. Like the company SoFi. One thing that always has me like optimistic about that is that if you look at the insider buying, the CEO is buying millions of shares.
Yeah.
Like every quarter. So like that tells me, hey, he really believes in SoFi, like the guy that probably knows the most about the company. That's not the case with MPW.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I unfortunately that's one of the stocks the timing couldn't have been worse. Like I bought it.
Oh, you own it?
I've owned it since like 2018.
Jesus Christ.
I reached 100 shares.
Sorry.
Yeah, I bought it at like $19. Like I think that's what my average cost is. I hit 100 shares, and that's when all this BS came out about like, some of their tenants are like being backed by MPW, which like makes no sense.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. Shouldn't mean a fall for Coney. Yeah, I mean that's the thing with Coney is that they're exposed to all the downside risk of Coinbase, but only some of the upside. Michael. So yeah, I don't know if you've seen this
Just
guy.
because somebody says something a stock is good does not mean that it is.
I don't know. Do you know this Ethan guy that Michael's talking about? He's the guy that's like sits in his car. He's like a bald dude. He has an insane portfolio. I'm talking like $18 million. Like he probably has the most money I've ever seen on YouTube.
And you aren't talking about Joseph Carlson?
No. Joseph has a nice full head of hair. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't exactly know how Ethan made his money. I'm gonna make an educated guess and say it's not off of yield max ETFs. I don't know what I think LTC is like Litecoin, if that's some sort of cryptocurrency. I don't know. I mean, the thing, Michael, is that I've seen some of the things that Ethan invests in, and I have no idea why, if you're worth that much money, why would you take that much risk? If you have $18 million, you can literally live for generations without having to work by just investing in the S&P 500, and you could live very comfortably. Like, why would you want to risk your money into some of these high yielder income ETFs? That just makes no sense to me. That's why
he resisted arrest. Apparently, he resisted arrest for speed pursuits.
Did you just like Google him or something?
Yeah, I just saw like a mugshot.
Nice. Portuguese chicken baller. Any stocks you two are eyeing right now? So yeah, I mean, I think as much as we've been joking about Starbucks, I personally have been
for a cup right now.
I personally have been buying Starbucks.
Yeah, I bought some today.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Like I've been VHT. Like I've been talking about that on my Patreon for weeks, and now the stock is, or the ETF is climbing back up. That's basically the whole healthcare.
Oh, see, super secret information with Cody. If you pay the Patreon, buy my course, bro.
Of
Buy my
course, bro.
course.
Of course. No, I mean, it just, I don't know. I mean, I'll just go out on a little tangent here. It always amazes me that like some people charge like thousands of dollars for their like secret course or like Discord, but they never post any of their returns.
I know.
Yet, last year, I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I was able to beat the market. I mean, I'm not
Joseph Carlson I'm on with right now. What is this? He's not trying to.
I'm not saying I can guarantee that every year, but like I'm transparent, right? I at least show my returns.
Yeah.
But other people, they don't, but they charge so much for their their Patreons or exclusive content. So just a little tangent there. So yeah, Starbucks, kind of the whole healthcare sector as a whole.
Visa,
is that at a discount right now?
It doesn't have to be at a discount. If it's near fair price, then it's a good buy.
That's the thing with like great companies like Visa, MasterCard, they're like hardly ever on a discount.
Yeah, I did some portfolio reconstruction today. And I was kind of thinking to myself, like, do I want to put 100 in the Visa? It's kind of near all-time highs, but it's like, I'm buying it for 40, 50 years. Fuck it, Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry for cause. I'm sorry.
Oh, we just got demonetized.
I'm sorry. Nope, you won't, because I'm at my MPW video the other day. My first line in it was, if you think Epstein's week was bad, try being an MPW shareholder, and it didn't get demonetized, so we should be fine.
Also, guys, make sure to hit that like button for the algo, of course.
Yeah.
As we talk about Tattooed Chef even more.
Yeah.
I never understood like the guise of it. Like people wanted to eat like.
It was very trendy a few years ago. That's why it was so popular.
People will like just go into whatever trend or hot buzz topic.
Yeah. But
good old Coca-Colas. All right, Michael. Ethan created Nagios. That's how he made his first millions. Is that some sort of cryptocurrency? I have no idea what that is. I'm gonna do a quick Google of it.
Ethan, yeah, I've never heard of this bald dude until here.
Free and open source computer software application that monitors networks. Okay. Oh, it came out 21 years ago. Ooh, we were still in the womb back then, Ryan.
I don't even know if I was in the womb by then. I was.
I mean, that's great. Like, I don't. Again, that just makes me even more skeptical. Like, the dude made his money actually building something legitimate. Like, why does he need to then invest in something that's more high risk? It just makes no sense to me. Ethan also changes his mind very frequently about investments. I've listened to several of his videos. He was very gung-ho on Tesla and put a ton of money into it. I mean,
sounds like some other finance channels.
Yeah, I mean, I will say I think Tesla's NAV has stayed consistent for the last couple months, but still not one I would probably want to hold for the long term. Dan, don't hit the like button, smash it. Like, never understood that smash it. Like, are you supposed to like punch your keyboard or phone or
give it a whip?
Give it a whip. All right, and put your final questions or stock market news in the chat. We'll probably call it here in a couple minutes.
We haven't talked about Epstein yet. It's the night is still young, Cody.
Okay. I mean, I can go as long as you need, bro. I figured you had school tomorrow.
Nah, I'm sick. I'm sick.
Don't you guys have virtual school? Like, what's the point of going in person now?
It is bullshit. Half of my day, I have like an hour probably actually doing work, and then the rest is just me on my phone.
All right, Owl. Not too long ago, he made another video saying it was a terrible investment and wished he could go back and never have done it. That's the thing, man. Like, if you've made money legitimately, why would you go into a risky investment like this? That just makes no sense. And this is the same reason why, like, you hear about Michael Jordan gambling. Why does Michael Jordan need to gamble? The dude is already rich.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Michael, I saw those videos. I'm going to diversify much more. Hey,
yeah, I'd sell it all tomorrow and buy like SHD if you're looking for dividends.
Yeah, I mean, Michael, it depends. Like, what's your monthly expenses each month? Like,
if you're in the Philippines, I wouldn't assume it's anything.
Yeah,
it's
right.
much cheaper there.
Honestly, like the as the older you get, probably the less risk you could be taking, right? Like Ryan and I were still relatively young. I mean, Ryan is young. I'm relatively young, I'd like to say. I could take on more risk, but I'm a very resilient person. So I probably buy too many like Coca-Colas and Pepsis when I should be investing in more like QQQs. But
Yeah, I've kind of moved away from those. Unfortunate, like they're great companies, but like if you just compare it to like the S&P 500 or like other higher conviction, higher growth plays, it makes a lot of sense to move out of it. So yeah.
So do you buy stocks that don't have a dividend, like an Adobe or something?
Berkshire. I mean, most of the companies that I buy do have a dividend, but there are a few that I have that don't.
I think too, like you could also just like, let's say you buy a company like Amazon, you could just, own enough to get 100 shares, then you can do covered calls on it and then kind of create your own dividends in a way.
Passive income. My passive income. My dividends.
Ryan, was Stephen Hawking actually on
That's a poll for all the viewers. Do you guys think he actually was?
This kind of has me a little disturbed, kind of like visually thinking about that. Like,
well, apparently, did you hear what the specifics of it were?
I haven't really like looked into too much of that.
He reportedly like wanted midgets solving math problems for him, like I swear to God, on whiteboards. You could look it up. Nobody hold me to that, but that's one of the that's going around town.
What I find weird about this, I mean, like the whole situation's obviously weird, but like the government or whoever is in charge of this is dropping the documents like every now and then. Like this is some sort of like album release.
I know. I was like, oh, part 3's coming out tomorrow. Oh.
Hey man, don't miss this midnight release, Epstein Island.
I don't know. There were so many. Like, are they going to hold the people that went to the island accountable? Probably not. Probably. I saw so many lists, so many people, like Jimmy Kimmel, George Lucas, all these people, and like there's been no investigation into them whatsoever. So
yeah, the thing is that like honestly, a lot of those people are probably famous. They're probably politicians. They're probably celebrities. Even like I saw like Bill Clinton has like a portrait of him wearing like a dress. I'm like, what kind of stuff was going on there? But all right, we got a millionaire. If the dividend is insanely high, it's probably too good to be true. Yeah, I agree.
Would you say the same for Altria though?
No, because Altria.
I agree. Thank you.
See, Altria is an actual company, right? They actually
they produce good free cash flow. It's not like they're like declining or whatever.
Right. They actually sell a good or service that you could actually measure. You could quantify that.
Smoke it.
Smoke it. Yeah. Get high off of it. No. Michael has less than 1,500 in expenses per month. Man, I knew the Philippines was cheap. I didn't know it was that cheap. That's insane.
This guy's living with Graham Stephan.
For basics, no young kids. Michael, I'm curious, how old is that new Filipino girlfriend you have? Are you guys planning on having kids someday? You gotta secure the visa, right?
Yeah.
Okay, also doing covered calls. So yeah, you're making money. It's all good. All right, Dan. The weird part is that not one client has been prosecuted. What was crazy to me was that his Jeffrey Epstein's like girlfriend, I think her name was like Ghislaine Maxwell. She wasn't arrested for like years after the fact. It took so long for her to get arrested. Like,
yeah, lack of faith in the justice system.
Because I remember they made like a Netflix documentary about Epstein, and I remember at the time that I watched that, I was shocked to learn that she was still like a totally innocent person, like a totally free person. Like
I might watch that tonight. I saw it earlier.
What was crazy? This past like winter break, I was actually in like the West Palm Beach area in Florida. Definitely a lot of high income people there.
Yeah.
Oh man, look who we have in the house.
Oh baby, it's a party when Haram shows up.
Oh my gosh,
pretty sure some didn't even interact.
Our favorite Puerto Rican. Pretty sure some didn't even.
Yeah, they were there for a dinner party. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing too, is that like people keep posting that photo of like Epstein and Trump as if that like just
Yeah,
automatically means if you take a photo together that means like you
yeah.
agree with somebody's principles or like were involved in the same conduct as them, which is pretty ridiculous. But you know,
Imagine if me and Joey C took a picture one day.
that means you're into Texas Roadhouse and
Yeah.
all that. Yeah. All right, guys. I see 16 people in here. What other comments, questions you guys got for us?
Yeah, give us controversial takes to move on.
Get us canceled tonight. Just get us.
Yeah.
This will be the second and final live stream.
Shh.
He was blackmailing the rich and powerful. Yeah, that's what I heard. I know, like, it's like some sort of luxury glass brand that's
No,
actually like,
there was a funny video of somebody asking Bill Clinton, I think this week. He's like, Mr. Clinton, what happened on the Epstein Island? And he just gave this look to the camera. He's like, and it's just
oh,
nice.
it's the Victoria's Secret. That was what it was.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
We got Stabulo in the chat. Big Jordan.
We got Jordan in the house. Hello, all. I'm a believer in the cigar butt method of investing. Do you have any thoughts? I've heard this metaphor before, but I'm blanking on what this means. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah, cigar butt method of investing.
Probably look it up on this. Let me escape out of here. Cigar.
Or close up private tabs. Don't want the people to see the truth. Secret documents open.
Okay, let's learn about this. Cigar butt investing is a short-term investing strategy that involves buying the shares of struggling companies at a very low price. These companies are worth more than the price at which shares waits for the company's share price. Right. So I mean, this is kind of like, hey, if a stock is at a kind of like a 52-week low, buy into it.
Jordan's a jokester. It's a bit of an inside running joke on the Cash Flow Kings Live.
Oh, is he part of your Discord?
Yeah, he fiscal is what he would refer to as a cigar butt investor. And by judging by some of the holdings, if I told you a few of them, you might agree.
I mean, that is like kind of just buying stocks when they're low, right? Like 52-week lows. Or
it's like if there's one tier below value investing, that's what it would be, I think.
Okay, like with buying medical properties trust right now.
Oh, MPW, okay. Walgreens, Paramount, you name it all.
Man, okay, that's not even just buying at like a dip. That's like, hey, some really negative news came out about this company. Is now the time.
I don't know. I think it's a little bit of a gamble. It's a gamble with an investment. I'll say that. You're gambling that it goes up, but you're also hopeful long term that it'll recover. Me personally, it's not my thing.
Yeah, I mean,
but at the P's and below 3, it ain't for me.
Buying stocks at years low, man. That would be a 520-week low, right? Oh man, let's see here. My job here is done.
Yeah.
LOL. Ooh, we got Louise in the house. He's a frequent changer of his profile pic. I like it.
Yeah, you can appreciate somebody who's up with the times.
He used to be an elf one year. I still remember that. Yeah, he was an elf. Love it. Yeah, Ryan, what you got coming on for this next week? Any videos?
Yeah, I have a bunch pre-recorded. I kind of got that like New Year's motivation spike, so taking the best advantage of it I can. I have a bunch of. Oh, I'm posting. I don't know when I'm gonna post our chopped up Tesla one, but it's coming.
That's right. I still have a
thumbnail for it.
Oh, that thumbnail, that Canva, put it to work.
Oh, you're welcome. I put you on.
I still have to make my 2023 like dividends in review video.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a favorite one. I want to say I made like $400 in dividends in December, which is pretty good. But
I got in December.
Yeah,
that's solid. I got like 75.
Ooh, okay. You're getting there. You're getting there.
Size doesn't matter. It's how you use the money.
Just reinvest the dividends, bro.
Just free money, dividends.
All right, so Michael, SCHD. Yeah, this is probably like
Yeah, if you're
one of
looking
my
for
favorite.
dividend income, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of my favorite ETFs out there, and
I
the
think
reason.
it's overhated dividend ETF.
Well, the thing is, Ryan, people expect a stock or an ETF to just do amazing every year. Like, hey, it had an
Yeah,
amazing
it's very
2022.
easy to shit on stocks or an ETF after a year or two of underperformance.
Right,
I
exactly.
found
So,
that.
so
And let's not forget,
2022.
it was outperforming the S&P 500 not that long ago, earlier this
It,
year.
it was like I think end of 2022 it was outperforming. It had a great year, and then 2023 it didn't do as good because what one thing it does lack is it doesn't have that exposure to tech. You see that tech is only
I don't
11.
like that they have Ford in there, though. If I'm correct, they still have Ford.
I never understood why people are so like
Well, they don't. It's gone.
obsessed with. I mean, it's probably one of their smaller holdings. Like
Yeah.
Ford is probably 1% of the fund.
Yeah. I mean, these aren't horrible companies. I like Broadcom. I love that exposure.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So Michael, SCHD, probably one of my favorite dividend ETFs. I mean, the reason why I like it is that it's always constantly being like benchmarked, rebalanced. They have some of these metrics that gets like the best companies in there that are paying dividends, sustainable dividends. So dividends, free money,
Free money. Passive income.
reinvest them into MPW. It's called the real net. All right. Well, Jordan, the thing is that MPW might not even be paying a dividend.
Yeah, they might not even have stock soon, so don't get your hopes up.
I got 23K from Coney, so we'll diversify it. So, Michael, I'm sure you're also paying the Uncle Sam good portion of your dividend income these days as well, unfortunately.
And qualified dividends.
Yeah, some hot takes in here for sure.
Epstein didn't kill himself.
Ryan, do you own Waste Management?
Yeah, not enough.
It's a solid.
I don't like. I was considering buying it today, but it's at all-time highs. It's not like it's got crazy like Visa like growth or whatever. But
yeah, I think it's one of those that probably doesn't get as much love as it should.
Oh, I agree for sure. But like, look at it on the max, and it's trading like a 31p ratio. They have good growth. Don't get me wrong. Like they have solid growth, but for a company like that, at the valuation, the premium it's at,
yeah,
I don't know. For a trash company, do I want to pay a 31? I know PE isn't all, but it's still at all-time highs. It's got sustainable growth. I always say that it's a staple and it's got sustainable growth, and probably keep up with the S&P at the right price. So good company.
It's an important one for sure.
I was buying at 150 and 160. So
okay. Yeah, the dividend. I mean, it does have a dividend. I don't know why it's not showing on here, unless it got cut. All right, so Rex is in the house. SCHD will do their yearly updates, and yeah, so they do their rebalancing in March. So
if I could see some more growth options in there again, some more AbbVie, some more.
Ryan, I'm already imagining the thumbnails that are going to be coming in March, but the finance YouTube investors are going to be like, "Oh my gosh, SCHD just did this."
Yeah, you'll have that chick on there. The chick that makes the same thumbnail with the Warren Buffett tweet.
Oh man, don't you talk about Victoria?
You mean thumbnail?
Yeah. KLL, where is my sandwich? All right.
See, I'd view that as offensive if I knew it wasn't Haram.
Haram recently got married.
He's a ladies' man.
Exactly how he talks to his wife.
Where the fuck my sandwich?
I'll have to pay taxes. That 23K was just for life. I mean, that's a massive dividend. I'm sure. Yeah, like you were saying, you probably did come out on top with that. That's what she said, right? Guess I got in at a good time and got lucky. SCHD copies Stabulo's portfolio.
That's fake news. It won't. That wouldn't get enough clicks.
You know where the kitchen is. Ooh.
Oh.
Comeback.
Ooh. There was an AI dividend YouTube channel I found today, like an actual AI dividend channel.
What was it, that dividend channel that you've been having a feud with?
It had like 180 subscribers, and I commented on one of my videos today.
Well,
And I looked at it.
That's a little creepy that it's commenting on your videos, right? If it's AI,
it must be like somebody behind it. Somebody has to be like behind it, like running it, because it was commenting on my videos today. And then, yeah, I'll pull it up. Yeah. Oh, did he delete it? No, he didn't. Yeah. Dividend Dynamics.
Dividend Dynamics. Interesting.
If you pull up, dude, pull up the video on stream. It's actually like a little like. There's no chance that's legal or like because I know YouTube has a strict monetization policy. I can appreciate you got WWE pulled up and you're recommended.
Dynamics.
And don't worry, he's selling a $5 spreadsheet. So
which one is it?
Go down.
Oh, is it this one?
Yeah. He's not monetizing. Click on it. Oh.
I like how it's a StreamYard ad.
Yeah, no. I didn't comment it. Yeah, he's got the Now listen to the video. Put the volume on. This is actually
Oh, great.
Yeah, so it's like a full AI.
Yeah, so that's not his like real voice. He's just using like.
Oh, it's like so blatant too.
Yeah. Coney.
Yeah. I don't know if you're going to watch that, dude.
How many subs does he have?
180.
188. He's getting up there. The young cat
knows who daddy is.
All right, Ryan. I think we'll cut it there, but
yeah.
Let everybody know where they can find you on the internet.
Well, I think the first thing to really say here is why you should do dividend stocks, not drugs.
Oh man, you got the banner going on there.
The banner says back there. Go subscribe to my channel. Check out the Do Dividend Stocks Not Drugs merch. That's all I gotta say. Be a real man and buy the Real Man's Investing shirt.
I love it. Well, thanks
for not financial advice, Michael. That's not financial advice. Don't hold me to that. I'm not an account or.
Hey, yeah. Should we make more SCHD videos for Stan this year?
SCHD. Oh, that's like the actual SCHD Stan.
Yeah, wow. I mean, he loves it so much.
The actual wow, that's the guy. That's the guy from Twitter, right?
Wait,
wait. There's like 4 of them. No, there's like 50. There's like 5 SCHD stands on Twitter.
Hey, thanks for hopping on, Michael. Enjoy those Filipino women. Would be very jealous in the background. Yeah, thanks for joining, Dan. This is an actual millionaire right here, like one that actually made his money legit, is investing it correctly. We can learn a lot.
Doesn't own Tesla.
Thanks again, Luis. I know you're going to be watching the live stream. And then, hey, Stan, there'll be some SCHD videos coming, especially in March when they do their reconstruction. All righty. Thanks, everyone. Catch you guys next time.
Yeah, do dividend stocks, not drugs.